Good morning. This week we are going to look at three systems: your digestive system, your muscle, and your bones. So oftentimes we combine the bones and muscle. We call it the musculoskeletal system, but really they're each their own system, and then we're going to throw digestion in there as well. So if we start with digestion, this is the system that's going to be responsible for giving every single one of the trillions of cells in your body the energy that they need in order to carry out their functions, in order for your tissues to carry out their functions, in order for your organs to carry out your functions, your organ systems, and to function as a complete living, functioning, living thing. So your digestive system, there are different kinds of digestive systems that are found in living things, but your digestive system is a long series of tubes and organs in which different processes are going to be occurring to food to break down the different components of the food along the way. Food is going to enter into one opening, waste is going to come out another opening. So some organisms have only one opening, so food comes in and waste comes out the same hole, and lucky for us that's not the case. But obviously digestion starts in your mouth. You have your teeth, you have salivary glands, you have your tongue, all of the things that are going on in your mouth. Most of it is mechanical digestion, which means that you're actually physically breaking apart the food that you eat. So you're tearing it apart, you're mashing it with your teeth. But there is some chemical digestion that takes place when all of that stuff is being mixed together with your saliva. Your saliva is helping to chemically break down some of that food too, which is called chemical digestion. There is a special enzyme or a chemical protein in your saliva called amylase, and this helps break down starches. So when you are eating pasta, the starch that is found in pasta starts to get chemically broken down right away in your mouth. So you're ripping apart the food, but we're also chemically breaking down the food. We want food to get broken down into its, smallest nutrient component. So like a carbohydrate or a fat or a protein or a vitamin or a mineral. So you chew up and you mash up all that food in your mouth, and then you swallow it, and it goes down your pharynx, which is kind of the back of your throat there, and then it goes down your esophagus. Your esophagus is pretty cool because it's a really, really long tube, right? But it has a series of muscle contractions that squeeze the food down. And if you were to stand on your head and swallow something, it would still reach your stomach because of these muscle contractions, which is called peristalsis, that basically squeeze the food all the way down the tube. Food then goes into your stomach, where it gets broken down more mechanically, mushed, churned, mixed up, and chemically. There's lots of stomach acid, stomach enzymes that are going to further break down food. Then it is all going to travel down into your small intestines. Your small intestines is your main digestive organ. This is where the vast majority of the nutrients that were in the food will get passed through the walls of the small intestines and go to your bloodstream, where your bloodstream will take it to the individual cells. Any undigested material will then travel to your large intestines, which is commonly called your colon, where any water that's in that undigested material will kind of get sucked out. And then any remaining semi-solid undigested material will leave your body via the rectum and the anus. There are a couple of accessory organs with digestion. Your liver, which is going to help break down fats, your liver and gallbladder, using a chemical called bile. And then your pancreas, which is really important, and it's going to help monitor your blood sugar levels by releasing a chemical called insulin, something that you may have heard of. Your pancreatic juices also play a role in digesting lipids. Both the liver and the pancreas, they're called accessory organs because the food never actually passes through those organs. What they do is they spit out juices into the small intestines or large intestines or stomach area, mostly the small intestines, in order to chemically do whatever its job is to do. So digestion. Nutrition is a fascinating subject. what we get out of the food that we eat. If you have a nutrition tracker app on your phone, I would highly suggest inputting all of the food that you eat for even just 2 days, because it's pretty mind-blowing the things that we put into our body. So this is kind of the digestive system summary. The next unit that they're going to talk about this week is the skeletal system. And this is our bones. Our bones have so many different functions. We know that they're hard structures. We know that they help protect us. The skull protects the brain. Our ribs protect our lungs and our hearts. We also know that they're involved in movement, right? Muscles attached to bones. They act as levers where movement can be produced, right? They're also an important storage for minerals. When we do not have enough calcium in our body, which is something our nerves need to function properly, we're going to take that calcium from our bones. It's a reserve that our bodies can take from if needed. And least known probable function of the skeletal system is that this is where our red blood cells are made and our white blood cells are made in our bone marrow. So all of our blood is going to come from the bone marrow parts of our bone. So there are 206 bones in the body, in the adult body. Here's a picture of some of them. Clavicle is your collarbone. Scapula is your backbone. Humerus is the bone of your upper arm. You have 2 bones in your lower arm, the radius and the ulna. I suppose I can take my mask off, huh? You got your hip bone. Carpal bones are the bones of your wrist. Metacarpals are the bones of your palm. And then phalanges, you have 3 phalanges in each of your finger, except for your thumb, which you only have 2 phalanges. Femur is the bone of your upper leg, strongest bone in the body, because it absorbs all of the weight of your body and transfers it down to the ground. Just like in your upper arm, your lower leg has 2 different bones, the tibia and the fibula. The fibula is the smaller of the 2. Really interesting fact, you don't really even need your fibula for anything. In fact, if for some reason you need to have a reconstruction done, oftentimes if you need a bone for that reconstruction, they'll take the fibula out and use that bone. And then your tarsals are the bones of your ankles, including your big heel bone. Metatarsals are the bones of the main part of your foot. And then your toes are also called your phalanges. And then we'll end this week looking at the muscular system, which is going to work hand in hand with the skeletal system to produce movement. Every time you move, your skeletal muscles contract, and that produces heat. So your muscular system plays an important role in maintaining your internal body temperature because it generates heat. There are over 600 muscles in the human body, so you can be thankful you don't have to know all 600 of them. But here's a picture of some of them. Your pectoralis major, your biceps in the front of your arm, triceps are in the back of your arm. Muscles work in pairs, so when one muscle is contracting, so like your bicep here, your tricep is lengthening, and then vice versa. When this one shortens, then this one lengthens. So muscles have, they work in pairs, so in order to control your movement. Because if it didn't have that opposing force, then like when you went to do an arm curl, your arm would just like fly backwards. So this opposing muscle action, or this working in pairs, allows you to have pretty smooth muscle kinds of movements. Hamstrings are the back of your legs. Glutes are or quadriceps are the front of your legs. Quadriceps meaning that there's actually 4 different main muscles that make up your quadriceps. Gluteus, your gluteal muscles, there's actually several of them, would make up your butt there. And then you got your calf muscles, which is your soleus and gastrocnemius. So some of these I'm sure you've heard of before. Your obliques for your abs. So you're going to kind of see some just real general descriptions of these 3 systems of the body this week. I think it's pretty obvious that the skeletal system and the muscular system work together, but digestive, your muscles play a really important role in your digestive system too. Like I mentioned, those alternating muscle contractions that push food through your digestive tract, that's a really important part of getting the food through your system. So your muscles play a really important role in allowing all of your other systems to work as well. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Otherwise, have a really great week.